Do you remember? Back then, a morning didn't truly begin without the clink of a spoon, the scent of toast, and a bright orange drink promising the future in a glass. Most believe Tang was simply a space-age fad, blasted onto shelves by NASA hype. But the real story starts much earlier, inside American kitchens and crowded grocery aisles. Why did this powdered drink become a symbol of both comfort and cosmic ambition? The answer changes what we thought we knew about an entire generation's appetite for modern miracles. Do you remember how the kitchen sounded before sunrise? There was always a gentle hush, broken by the rattle of a cereal box or the soft clink of a spoon against a thick glass. The air held a mix of scents: fresh coffee from the percolator, butter melting on toast, and sometimes a bright, citrusy note that seemed to promise something new. Mothers moved quietly, tying aprons around their waists, setting out pastel plates and stacking lunchboxes by the door. Chrome appliances gleamed beneath the soft glow of the overhead light, their surfaces cool to the touch. Children shuffled in, hair still mussed from sleep, drawn by the warmth and the promise of breakfast. There would be bowls of cornflakes, neat rows of toast, and a pitcher filled with something orange and cheerful, Tang or maybe juice depending on the day. Sometimes you could hear the fizz as powder met water, swirling into a color that caught the morning sun. The radio might hum in the background, or a father would unfold the newspaper with a crisp snap, glancing over the headlines as he sipped his coffee. Lunches were packed with practiced hands, sandwiches wrapped in wax paper, apples polished to a shine, thermoses filled and sealed tight. The rhythm of these mornings was as steady as the ticking kitchen clock. Every gesture was familiar, the way a mother smoothed a child's collar, the laughter over a spilled glass, the last-minute search for a missing shoe. In those moments, the world outside felt far away. There was only the comfort of routine, the closeness of family, and the quiet excitement of a new day about to begin. For many, these small rituals were the heart of home, simple, ordinary, and unforgettable. Do you remember the early 1960s? Supermarkets felt like a world of possibilities, especially for families searching for something new. Bright fluorescent lights hummed overhead, casting a steady glow on aisles lined with tidy rows of boxes and jars. The shelves brimmed with color, cheerful reds, deep greens, and here and there a flash of orange that seemed to beckon curious shoppers. Tang's canister stood out against the crowd, its bold, futuristic typography promising a taste of tomorrow. Store managers placed Tang where it could not be missed, at the end of breakfast aisles, next to stacks of cereal and instant coffee. These end-cap displays worked like magnets, catching the eye of mothers with arms full of groceries and children trailing behind. Sometimes there would be an in-store demonstration, a clerk in a crisp white apron, mixing Tang in a glass pitcher, offering tiny paper cups to anyone who paused. The powder swirled into water, turning it a vibrant orange, and for a moment the ordinary act of shopping felt touched by something extraordinary. Packaging mattered. Tang's label was a promise as much as a brand, bright orange with clean modern lettering that suggested speed and efficiency. The words "packed with vitamin C and more vitamin C than orange juice" were printed right on the front. This was convenience you could see, sitting in its spot among the glass jars and cardboard boxes. The canister's shape fit perfectly in a shopping cart, easy to spot and easier to grab, especially during a rush Saturday morning trip. The atmosphere in these stores buzzed with quiet intent. Anonymous shoppers pushed metal carts down wide, shiny floors, pausing to scan the latest deals. Children pressed their noses to the cool glass of freezer cases, while clerks restocked shelves with practiced hands. Impulse buy tactics were everywhere: displays at eye level, colorful signs, and special prices printed in bold letters. Tang benefited from all of it, finding its way into baskets not just as a drink, but as a small symbol of progress. Back then, the journey from shelf to kitchen often began with a simple decision: a flash of orange, a promise of ease, and the feeling that the future might just be waiting in the next aisle. Do you remember a quiet laboratory at General Foods in 1957? William A. Mitchell was working on a problem that seemed simple at first: how to make a breakfast drink that did not rely on fresh oranges or refrigeration. Mitchell, already known for inventions like Pop Rocks and Cool Whip, believed American families wanted something easier, something that could live on a pantry shelf, ready whenever it was needed. He experimented with powders, flavors, and vitamins, searching for a formula that mixed smoothly with water and delivered a bright, satisfying taste. After months of trial and error, he arrived at what would become Tang, a drink that promised modern convenience in every glass. Tang made its first appearance in grocery stores in the fall of 1959. The packaging was unmistakable: a round glass jar with a metallic green label and a bold orange lid. No need to squeeze, unfreeze, or refrigerate, just add water and stir. Early advertisements leaned into this sense of ease with slogans that promised you did not have to squeeze, unfreeze, or refrigerate. And that said, the drink was packed with vitamin C. The label boasted that it had more vitamin C than orange juice, a claim that caught the attention of parents looking for ways to keep their children healthy, especially during the cold months. Mitchell's invention arrived at a time when convenience foods were reshaping American kitchens. Housewives, as the ads called them, were encouraged to save time without sacrificing nutrition or taste. General Foods' marketing team described Tang as an instant breakfast drink, a solution for busy mornings, travel, or even camping trips where fresh juice was out of reach. One ad urged listeners to try Tang tomorrow for breakfast. Though Tang's early sales were modest, its promise was clear: a shelf-stable, vitamin-rich drink that fit perfectly into the rhythm of modern family life. It was not yet the stuff of space capsules or television headlines. Instead, Tang began as a quiet revolution, born from a scientist's curiosity and a company's faith in the future of the American breakfast table. Television screens glowed in living rooms across America, casting blue light on faces gathered in silence. On February 20th, 1962, millions watched as John Glenn soared into orbit aboard Friendship 7. The countdown, the thunder of the rocket, the voice of NASA Mission Control, these moments became part of family memory, stitched into the fabric of daily life. Children sat cross-legged on the carpet, clutching their knees while parents leaned in, holding their breath as Glenn's capsule circled the Earth. Somewhere in the flurry of news reports, an image flickered, Glenn sipping from a pouch, and the rumor spread that it was Tang inside. The story caught fire, and soon Tang was no longer just a breakfast drink. It was the taste of space, a symbol of American progress poured into a glass. General Foods seized the moment. Advertisements showed astronauts floating above the world, Tang packets tucked into their gear. Grocery displays sprouted rocket ships and starbursts, promising a piece of the future at the end of the breakfast aisle. After each televised Gemini launch, sales figures surged, doubling in some regions almost overnight. Supermarkets scrambled to keep shelves stocked, and children begged for Tang in their lunchboxes, wanting to feel connected to the adventure unfolding on their televisions. Yet, in the midst of this excitement, there was a quieter truth. NASA food scientists, including Dr. Michel Perchonak, later clarified that Tang was not invented for astronauts. The space agency simply needed a vitamin-rich drink that mixed easily with water, and Tang fit the bill. The orange powder was chosen for practicality, not for myth. But for families at home, that distinction hardly mattered. The line between fact and memory blurred, and Tang became a way to join the national story, a bright, sweet link between the breakfast table and the stars. It was a small comfort and a big imagination, a taste that let a child feel part of something larger. Decades later, Tang still sits on supermarket shelves, a quiet reminder that every era seeks its own taste of tomorrow. As technology reshapes our kitchens once more, nostalgia and innovation meet in each glass. Sometimes, the future we imagined is just a memory on the breakfast table.